Atlanta Falcons quarterback Matt Ryan is set to account for $48.7 million against the Falcons cap, which will be an NFL record if he is on the team for the 2022 NFL season. Now, that is a large number, and it is leading many to speculate, many pundits, many fans to speculate that potentially they could be thinking of moving on from Matt Ryan. And that's not the only reason they're thinking about that. You also have to account for the fact that Matt Ryan, given everything, had pretty mediocre season. The Falcons in general have been known to have mediocre seasons ever since they lost to the Patriots in that Super Bowl in 2016. 7-8, 7-9 seasons, 7-10 season last year. Those are basically what they've been doing since then. But especially after last year, Matt Ryan turned, I believe, 36 after this past year. So he's getting up there in age, and it's not helping his case as far as should the Falcons keep him around. And I'm going to get to what I think is going to happen versus what I think should happen, but we just got an update from Jason Lockenfora saying, hearing that inquiring teams are getting the distinct impression that Matt Ryan will not be dealt by the Falcons. So doesn't look like the Atlanta Falcons at this point are interested in trading their former MVP quarterback, their former, I believe, third overall pick, the person who has been the franchise for this Atlanta Falcons team since 2008, since he was drafted. And it's put them in a weird place right now because they are currently, the Atlanta Falcons are to NFL teams what Jeff Fisher is to coaching in the NFL. Just mediocre. And I know there are Falcons fans who want to give excuses, and that's fine. I understand that. But if we look at their record since 2018 they went 7-9. If you look at the Falcons in 2019, they went 7-9. If you look at the Falcons in 2020, went 4-12. You look at them last year, 7-10. That's not to say that this team doesn't have really good young stars. I think Calvin Ridley's good when he's on the field. I think that Kyle Pitts is absolutely a dog, and he is amazing. I think Matt Ryan's a really good quarterback at this point in his career, but that doesn't mean that this is the core you're going to win with, because it's a team that's getting older. It's a team that just got a new head coach last year in Arthur Smith. And at some point, I think you have to, if you're the Falcons, you have to wonder, will that $48.7 million, is it going to be enough for you to want to keep Matt Ryan around and maybe run it back? Maybe you'll get a playoff appearance. Maybe you'll get a run to the NFC title game. I don't see this team making the Super Bowl. Again, Bengals made it this year. Who knows what could happen? But I don't see it. It's not the same energy. It's not the same team. It's not the same talent. And you also have to account for the fact that, a lot of young quarterbacks are doing well or better than they have ever done. And that's due to coaching in the college. That's due to coaching in the NFL being better. That's due to just general awareness being better amongst these young college athletes about how to take care of their bodies, how to game plan and prepare for the NFL level. So at some point, you got to think, all right, that $48.7 million, is it worth it for Matt Ryan, who we know what he can do? He could be good, sometimes great in moments, but would it be better for us to go out and get a younger quarterback and get some younger players around that guy, get some better offensive linemen, which the Falcons really probably need at this point, get some help in, I believe, the secondary. There's a bunch of things that the Falcons could do to make their team better with that $48.7 million in cap money that's going to count against Matt Ryan. So if I'm them, I'm definitely inquiring, or I'm definitely taking in inquiries about a trade. That doesn't mean you have to trade him overnight. That doesn't mean you have to take the first offer you get. If Matt Ryan is openly being traded for, there's going to be a lot of teams interested. Pittsburgh Steelers are a team that comes to mind. The Houston Texans potentially are a team that comes to mind. The Minnesota Vikings, a team that has wanted to move on from Kirk Cousins for seemingly a very long time, and with a new regime coming in, we don't know what that future may look like. So there's a bunch of teams that are going to be looking for that guy. The Denver Broncos, and again, all these teams I'm mentioning are only in the AFC. That's if you're one of those people who doesn't believe he's going to get traded within the NFC conference, then All right, boom. I just listed off 5 teams in the AFC that he could be potentially traded to. So there's always going to be a market for a guy like Matt Ryan. And while I don't think he will be traded, again, around draft time, everyone's available for the right price. But right now, I would say he's not. He's probably leaning in the direction of not being traded. But I think they should, because in the long term, it's going to make their team better. I really do think it's going to make their team better, because Matt Ryan has, 3-4 more years. Again, not everyone's Tom Brady. I understand Tom Brady's like the person that everyone wants to talk about being, oh, well, he did it, so everyone can do it. That's not saying everyone can't do it, or there's not going to be another one. But Tom Brady had 40 touchdowns at the age of 44. Not saying Matt Ryan's not capable of it. I'll believe it when I see it. But, he's got only a few more years left of being primetime Matt Ryan, and you got to think, if you're Matt Ryan, am I going to win the Super Bowl on this team? So there's a few different factors that are going to be playing out over the next few months as the NFL offseason begins. But doesn't look like Matt Ryan's going anywhere for now. Hey, everyone, we hope you liked this video. If you did, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Until next time, keep it real.